Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. It's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan, and you know what it is. How are you doing? I hope you're well. It's Monday morning, and there's some interesting news in the Man United space, guys. There's a lot of talk coming out right now, and let's get right into it, guys. You know what it is. Smash those likes. It's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan, and let's go. It's going to be some news, guys. It's really coming through right now, and Manchester United is said to be interested, shifting their focus to, Richard Rios, the Copa America star from Colombia, guys. Also, he's said to be rated somewhere in the region of £17 million. I think that's a decent deal to do. He comes with that South American fire, that spunk that comes from down there, that feistiness, and he's a very decent player. You know what I mean? And they're reported that the Red Devils have made a bright start to the transfer window, guys. You know what I mean? We've done some good deals. Now it's the next priority, and most likely it's to be midfield. Currently locked in negotiations with Paris Saint-Germain over Manuell Ugarte. We will speak about that as well, and are said to be closer to agreeing a fee. Eric Ten side also maintained a strong interest in Jao Neves, but it seems likely that he's heading to Paris Saint-Germain. There have also been reports that United are prepared to make a third attempt to bring in free transfer Adrian Rabiot this summer. But Goal.com in Brazil have thrown a different name for the midfielder. However, as they report, United have interest in the Colombian Richard Rios, guys. Palmeiras are preparing to receive a series of raids on Richard Rios in this transfer window, and some of them could occur in the next few days. As Goal has learned, the midfielder received a recent inquiry from Manchester United and also monitored by Milan. Our reporters heard that the Red Devils indicated that they are already preparing an offer of around £17 million for the 24-year-old midfielder, who is experiencing a moment of great appreciation in the market as a result of an excellent campaign with Colombia in the Copa America 2024. Unfortunately for the Red Devils and other interested parties, the Brazilian side intend to play hardball over a possible move. What is certain is that the club will not negotiate Rios this summer, a source revealed to Goal. Palmeiras have already made significant money from sales of Estavo to Chelsea, Luis Guilherme to West Ham, and Endrick to Real Madrid. The midfielder played an instrumental role in Colombia's run to the Copa America final, playing all 6 games and scoring 5 in the 5-0 quarterfinal romp over Panama. The 24-year-old has shown his exciting talent as he had the highest number of successful dribbles among all athletes who competed in either the Copa America or Euro 2024, completing 18. Since Ineos have taken over control of football side of the club, Manchester United have been linked to numerous players across the globe, as they're aiming to cast their net high and wide to capture some of the world's most promising talent. If the club can overcome Palmeiras' resistance to sale, he could prove to be an exciting find, guys. What are your thoughts in the comments, guys? As you know, this is breaking information coming out right now. Manchester United are prepared to make a bid for Copa America star Richard Rios. Guys, what are your thoughts in the comments? Let me know what you're thinking. Get in, smash those likes and subscribe. What is happening, guys? It's going to be very interesting to see how this deal progresses. And I know I'm early, guys, but I had a short stream. I wanted to bring these updates to you. I had a short window before I get to work. So I wanted to come and inform you guys what's going on. Let's get into some other news coming around. And, this is very, in a way, it's good and bad, because I know some of you are like me, and they're finding it very hard to acclimatize to this signing that we made last summer, guys. But at the same time, what I would say to you guys is it's very possible that it's going to be 2 deals done. It may not happen, but it's a possibility, because, Manchester United star is linked with a shock exit just 1 year from transfer. There's a lot of reports coming in that, the most surprising story as well, Mason Mount linked with a move away. The England international completed his transfer to United just after leaving Chelsea last summer. And guys, there's some reports that, that he struggled last season to settle in due to some injuries. He only made 20 appearances in all competitions, 14 of those in the Premier League. He only had 1 goal and 1 assist for the entire campaign across all competitions, guys. As a result of the injuries and niggles throughout the campaign, the former Chelsea midfielder was unable to get a run in the team to earn a role in Erik ten Hag's side. There's a report coming in from HITC that claims United are ready to sell the midfielder due to fitness and form issues that hampered him in his first season at the club. Graham Bailey suggests both Antony and Mount could be transfer listed. United could use Mount to help generate funds for additional transfers this summer. It is understood that Aston Villa, Tottenham, as well as Newcastle are all interested in the player's signature. I think these reports are best to take lightly because Mount is one of the few midfielders that doesn't need to be looking over his shoulder this summer. He has still a lot to prove, but it would be premature to give up on him after 12 months. Guys, what are your thoughts in the comments? Let me know what you're thinking. Big up to you, Abdullah Irwan. What's good? What's good? PSG and Manchester United have been in talks with several players this summer. Manuell Ugarte and Xavi Simons to United, and Jadon Sancho and Bruno Fernandes to PSG. Source Tanziloik. That's some interesting news coming in there, Abdullah. What's good, bro? I hope you're well this morning. How are you guys doing? Big up to you, my brother. You know what I mean? It's all is good. Big up to you, broski. Yeah, Thomas Fednas is coming in saying we should sell Mount. You know, I would say it like this, my guys. Mason Mount, he may not have impressed a lot. He's certainly not a player that I was too keen on having at the club. But at the same time, if I'm willing to give Antony a second chance this season to prove himself, I would extend the same olive branch to Mason Mount. Good morning to you, Madhouse. And it's the same when you look at the likes of other players in the squad. I think, it's not just Mason Mount and Antony. I think there's one or two other players that, might be given a chance this season to see what they can do with themselves. And it's always a good thing because you know what? Sometimes players have unfortunate circumstances. They're humans after all. And you know what it is, guys. But agreeing with you guys, it might be for the best if he moved on. But at the same time, let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting, whichever route that it takes. Now, guys, some little interesting news. I know a lot of you are fans of this player as well as myself. I wasn't initially a fan, but I think throughout the season, coming down to the end especially, he has provided some key performances for Manchester United. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him this summer. And United have informed the Euro club, which is Fiorentina, guys, that they won't be signing the target unless the deal is on our terms and conditions. Guys, this is some powerful movement by Manchester United this summer, guys. I don't know what you're thinking, but for me, it seems pretty good. I like the style on how we're conducting ourselves this summer. It makes me feel strong. It makes me feel like United are back and we're doing the right things that we should have always been doing. Guys, I don't know how this feels to you, but I would like to get Sofyan Amrabat, even if it's just as a backup squad player. And I think paying another 20 million euros after we loaned him for 10 is a little bit too much money. So I'm liking this type of approach. Amrabat wants Manchester United, so it gives us some negotiating power in this deal over Fiorentina. We can even possibly see him come back to United on a loan. You know what I mean? And then he goes on a free next season. So it might be interesting to see what happens. Let's see if we can get Amrabat back. I would like them to do a deal somewhere in the region of 10 million, which would be supremely cheaper than initially planned. We would probably be saving somewhere in the region to 10 to 15 million. Maybe that's going to be one of those things. Big up to you, Mental Ball Game. I hope you're well, my brother. Compost Smurf, Amra having to do a hunger strike again to get him cheap. Yo, you guys are undefeated. Big up to you guys. And as I was saying before, guys, you know what I mean? Like I was saying about giving one or two players a second chance to give them an opportunity to prove themselves to the fans and that they are worth it. Some of them, their transfer fees may have been more than they should have been, probably double or triple the price. But, some players, they are good. They got good qualities. And we've seen Antony perform well. He has not pulled up any trees, but he's performed well in his first season. And the second season was riddled with some issues that I would like to say is due to the fact that he was mentally unstable with all the accusations and stuff flying around, possibly losing his livelihood. You know what I mean? It was too much, guys, in my opinion, for him to overcome. But Hopefully, he could get another 6 months to overcome this. And his agent has been speaking to the public. I know there have been recent reports that he's possibly going to be moved on, but the agent has dispelled those reports when he said the plan is clear for Anthony, and Man United want to loan out his client. You know what I mean? It's not happening. What is said is that Manchester United winger has hit back at claims that Devils are keen on loaning out his client this summer. Anthony, yes, he joined for a whopping 85 million last summer in a deal in 2022. He was Eric Ten Hag's marquee signing, but to say the Brazilian has failed to live up to his price tag would be a massive understatement. The forward has managed just 5 goals and 3 assists in 54 Premier League appearances during this time so far with the club. Last time he lost his place in his team, with Eric Ten Hag preferring to start Alejandro Garnacho on the right flank. Towards the latter stages of the campaign, Amad Diallo made the position his own, further pushing Anthony down the pecking order. In recent weeks, the speculation has been rife, with United are eager to part ways with him. But you know what? There's a report covering that saying that, it's emerged that it's not really going to be happening. Although some reports today are coming out that the French outfit Lille is a potential transfer destination for Anthony, as his name cropped up during negotiations. But at the same time, his agent Pedroso said via Fabrizio Romano, I've seen the reports on a potential exit on loan, but the plan is clear. Sorry about that, guys. Manchester United is clear that they want him to stay at the club. They have already spoken with executives at the club, and it is said that he will be given a chance to give himself an opportunity to fight to be in the squad. I think it's something that we definitely should consider. It's one of those things where, the player does have some talent, guys, and it would be nice to see him find that form that made us want him in the first place that he had at Ajax. Now, little bit of an update on Matthias de Ligt. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on with this transfer, guys. I know I've previously told you guys that it's very much one of those things that's possible, but currently it's going to be taking a little bit of time because apparently Manchester United have agreed personal terms with the Bayern Munich player. Everything down to the overall price is negotiated. The problem is this payment structure, right? So while the president is saying that, yeah, it's very likely to be sold this summer, Manchester United is and remains very much interested in having him join the team, but they need to get the payment structure. And I believe Man United wants it on their terms, as well as you have seen what they are doing all summer. Guys, what are your thoughts? Let me know what you're thinking. Just in, if a contractual agreement has not yet been reached, Jadon Sancho has validated the idea of a departure to the French capital, PSG. Wow, Abdullah, you're coming in with some hot takes right now. Thank you so much, my brother. What's good? It might be interesting, you know what I mean? And if PSG makes a bid for Jadon Sancho, guys, I think that's going to be very good. It would bring a high-profile player to their league. The French league right now is suffering with their sponsorship deal, and they're hoping to renew it. But because Kylian Mbappe left, a lot of the marketers are thinking this is not going to be too profitable for them. So it's going to be interesting if PSG and one or two other clubs in France could land some high-profile players, thereby drawing more marketing and bringing back that value, that boom in their broadcasting contract with the league. Big up to Abdullah for that. And we could get Richard Rios, but it's going to be hard to see who's going to leave and if he wants to get game time. He is working hard. David Munoz from Crystal Palace would be better to challenge the low. But Richard Rios is a midfielder, Thomas. So I think David Munoz. I think if he was to come in, it might be an option that we have in mind. But I'm also looking at the fact that I don't know if you noticed Habib Ogunai. His physicality has shot up in the recent off season. He's been working very hard. He's coming at right back in the 2 preseason games so far, and he looks very, very solid. So, in my honest opinion, knowing his capabilities, he's like a Frimpong-esque style player. He's very good going forward. He was initially a winger, right? And he was initially then he played at centre back for a couple months. and he has been promoted to the new right wing back of Manchester United under 18s. He has been playing there for the last 18 months, and it might be something that could be a possibility because he has shown that grit and that character to work hard on the right hand side. It might be something that we could be looking at. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure, but this is something I've just been observing. Hard to judge since the entire squad club was not firing on all cylinders. 100% Brendan. Big up for you for that. Mohan tips. What about the Rios deal? Well, as I was saying at in the beginning of the show, Mohan, the deal with Rios is an offer that United are prepared to make. We're about to launch the bid as per reports. £17 million for the player from Palmeiras, but it's going to be a difficult deal to do, guys, because Palmeiras recently came into something like 200 million on sales. They've sold Endrick to Real Madrid. They've also sold Gustavo Willian to Chelsea, as well as another player to West Ham in Louis Guilherme. And these are all big transfers, and it's one of those things that they're not really strapped for cash in the moment. So it's going to be a difficult negotiation, but look forward to it because the reports are coming out, and they're coming out loudly right now. Straight up with Ugarte would be an ideal situation to get Sancho out. I think that's an interesting opportunity right there. I just don't think that when I hear the part about Bruno, I'm getting a little nervous because I don't see much creativity in the squad without Bruno in the 10. But at the same time, I could be wrong. So maybe it might be a good deal. Xavi Simons is a very creative player. He spent most of his time playing in the center of the park at Leipzig as well as PSV, but he's very good across the left or the right hand of attacking. So he can play off the wing as well. It's going to be interesting. Robert Antonio saying throw Rashford into the deal as well. It's going to be interesting if that is to happen, guys, because you want to know something? He is a very high profile player. It would not only be 100% pure profit, but it would boost the French league as well. I'm not saying that I would love to see him go because he has all the mechanics to be a very, very elite player, but he has just not shown it. I mean, in 2022-23, we've seen a very, very good performance from him, netting 40 GA overall. And it was like, whoa, he can really do this. But last season was utterly disappointing, guys. So let's see what happens. Big up to you, Sanjay Ramutar. Good morning, my brother. Thomas is saying, I would love to get that Colombian player in United since I have Colombian origin. Big up to you, broski. Well, I'm from Trinidad, bro. So you know what? The origin is from the same part. Big up, homie. Mohan, what do you think about Casemiro and Amrabat? Sell and take Ugarte and Rios will make a good squad. Well, to be fair, Mohan, I think Casemiro is very likely to be leaving, as I've been reporting all week. Last week, it's very possible a deal from one of the two Saudi Arabian clubs, Al Nasser or Al Ittifaq, could be coming in imminently for Casemiro. His agent has been locked in talks with Saudi for the last few months. So let's see how that progresses. It's something that could be announced maybe in the next few days. As you know, United is preparing to go to USA for the America tour, preseason tour where we open against Arsenal. It's going to be interesting to see if that deal is done before. However, guys, the tour is just 10 days as well. So it's very possible it could be done right after because, as you know, Casemiro is a big name. So it might bode well for United to, earn some revenue while he's on tour. So it might be one of those things, guys. And I'm just speaking from a perspective that, what I think and what might be the realistic situation. It's possible that it could go either way. Xavi Simons has better stats than Bruno. Brendan, come on, man. Don't do this to me this morning, bro. I know Xavi Simons is really good. I definitely would have liked to have him in the squad. I wanted him since last summer. There were major reports going around last summer that he was going to come to United for a fee of about £12 million. But we ended up signing Mason Mount, which confused me to this day. So, I'm interested in him coming here. And if Bruno is going to be one at an expense, then I'm definitely going to switch my tact on Mason Mount, and he has to go as well because he does not create anything. You know what I mean? But dreams. If PSG gets Sancho, we get Neves. Thomas, that sounds like a possibility. You know, Man United are very interested in Joao Neves. There has been a lot of reports recently that Joao Neves is one of those players that United definitely wants to have in the squad. But it's going to be interesting to see if we actually do a deal, guys, because I know Joao Neves, you know, we had a bid for 70 million euros, you know what I mean, bumped down by the Benfica club. So it's one of those things where I can see it being a possibility, but I'm also wondering why in the heck they refused us in the first place. You know what I mean? But guys, some other reports coming out right now. It's really, really interesting to see what's happening here. This is some shock because there has been no talk about this, guys. And I know when I bring this up, you guys are going to be shocked to find out what is happening. But check this out, guys. Outstanding 23-year-old misses out on Man United move after heartbreaking finding this month. Let's go into the story, guys. And Shrewsbury Town goalkeeper Toby Savin missed out on another chance to join Manchester United this summer after failing his second medical this month, according to The Sun. The Red Devils wanted to sign the 23-year-old back in January when he was at League Two club Accrington Stanley following 3 seasons of extensive scouting. Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle were also keen on Savin at the time, but Man United came the closest, only for him to fail a medical. The outstanding goalie left the League Two side at the end of last season, and the Red Devils returned for his services, with the opportunity to sign him on a free, making the deal even more appealing. However, Savin failed another medical this month at Manchester United. He has now joined Shrewsbury in League One on a 2-year deal. A shoulder injury last term limited him to just 9 appearances for Accrington Stanley, but he ended up leaving after playing 109 games for them across all competitions. Spending 4 seasons in League One with them before their relegation at the end of 22-23, the 6'4" star stood out as one of the most promising keepers in the Football League in recent seasons, and Man United identified him as their preferred option to be their third choice behind Andre Onana and Altay Bayender. Tom Heaton has been heading for a coaching position for some time, while Nathan Bishop moved to Sunderland last season. The Red Devils have moved on after Savin failed his second medical in a heartbreaking finding which hindered him from completing a career-changing move that has seen them hand Heaton a new 1-year deal with Old Trafford. While the veteran Englishman had offers from other clubs, he has now stayed at Man United for 1 more season and is set to return for pre-season training after having been at the European Championships with England after joining the Three Lions as a training goalkeeper. Heaton would be expected to finally move on next summer, and the Red Devils will start plans to identify a replacement from this summer. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? It's really disappointing. I feel really crushed for this guy. I was thinking that he would definitely be, I would be announcing that we signed him, like today, but he failed his medical this morning. And it's really heartbreaking, guys, because he kind of deserved it. He's a very talented goalkeeper. I've seen him a couple times. I've been watching him since I know we were linked to him in January, and it's just disappointing. You know what I mean? But guys, this is a story you all have been talking about, and it's coming out now. It's all coming out loud everywhere. It's the story about Jadon Sancho, PSG about to make an offer to him, and the player about to say yes. What is happening, guys? Man United is doing some serious business. Serious business. Mohan, not saying, no, you're not disturbing, bro. When will all our players be available for USA Tour? Well, some of the players will be returning in 2 weeks. There are some of them who are returning this week. Most of them who have played in the early stages of the Euros and the Copa will be returning this week to training. Some of the other players will be joining us next week while we are on the tour, and there are 1 or 2 players who played in the final that have been given an extending period of rest, and they will be joining us in the next 2 weeks. So it's going to be one of those things, guys. You know what I mean? Scouting, what are they doing in Liverpool? Scouting is what they're doing in Liverpool. Scouting. Big up to you, broski. Big up to you. Hope your Mendes has probably had some sort of deal with PSG. All these super agents are shady. Yeah, it's really interesting. how they're going to be doing this. Players fail medicals at United these days. I'm shocked. No, well, you know what it is, my bro. Like the medical that is done, it has a certain standard around certain clubs. You know, there are certain countries and certain leagues that before you can do a medical, they have to check your entire medical and all these things. Like Christian Eriksen having a PCR in his chest, he would not be allowed to play in Italy because of some of their rules. They don't allow that kind of thing in Italy. So it's very interesting to see what happens, guys, because every league has different rulings on what they allow, what medical conditions they accept, and these kinds of things. It's very difficult, guys. It's very, very difficult. If Sancho goes to PSG, it could be an ideal idea to move Anthony to the left. 100%. Brendan, I've been saying it last season all the time. Anthony should be playing on the left. He should be our left back option. He should be our starting left back. You know, he would provide that ability to invert, play as a winger, play as an inside, a kind of sort of defensive midfielder at times. And with his ability, he would link up well with any attacker we have playing on the left. He would also get himself into scoring positions as well, and he could be scoring lots of goals. He can be more revolutionary than the emergence of Cancelo, in my honest opinion, guys. I know a lot of people don't think so, but the guy has got some stuff, man. You know, they get 2 to 3 weeks off after they last played. Yeah, I know, but Ganacho and the guys who played in the final, I've heard that they got a little bit of an extension on that, for more time off. It might be interesting to see how that goes. Don't think ETH would like to let Bruno go without a proper replacement. And this is my confirming thoughts as well. I don't think that even if we get Xavi Simons, we're not gonna be able to depend on getting 10 goals and 5 assists from him. You know what I mean? I think he's an amazing player. I think he could definitely come in and contribute majorly for Manchester United. I think he will probably score some goals and get lots of assists. But we know that Bruno is guaranteed in his worst season, he's scoring 10 goals and getting at least 5 assists. Imagine him in a better season, probably goes up to 15 and 10. Oh, this guy, this goalkeeper that we were interested in has failed a medical, man. His name is Toby Savine. He would have been coming from Shrewsbury Town, but he failed his second medical at Man United. Big up to you, Randon Lewis. Hope you're well, broski. Got the keys to the city from Mick this morning as well. So I'm streaming as well to MUFC Realist TV, guys, providing a little bit of an update for everyone. Yeah, you know what I mean. I trust Bruno as well. I think he could be a top player. He will always be a top player for Manchester United. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And guys, some other interesting reports coming out that kind of are pushing more and more likelihood of Xavi Simons to Manchester United comes out as PSG are starting to be, show that he's open for a loan. And these are some reports coming in. Big up to you, Randon Lewis, bro. Hope you're well. Manchester United target Simmonds could be loaned out again this summer. So it's one of those things. We may not even have to pay any money for this guy. We could probably get him on a loan and be spending money out of next year's budget for this guy, which I think is interesting, because he's a very talented player, as we were talking about just now, Brendan and myself, and it's very good to see that we are linked to him because I think he provides something that we're missing. And I think he's also one of the most suitable options for backup for Bruno Fernandes. And we could also be, have him back up this season and possibly move Bruno out next season if that's the case. You know what I mean? I just think it's something like that could be done. What are your thoughts, guys? Simmonds will be loaned out. If PSG sell him this season, PSV get a cut. If they sell him next season, PSV don't get a cut. Yeah, 100%. This is what I've been hearing all summer as well. This is why the option is to loan him. And this is why Xavi Simons has the power to decide where he goes. Because, if Bayern purchase him, the fee has to be of an extraordinary value in order for PSG to consider it. And it's the same for Leipzig. Leipzig had him on loan last season, and they're hoping that relationship is what will draw him back again this season. But Xavi Simons is thought that his head has been turned by the option of playing in the Premier League. And with Manchester United knocking on the door, guys, the pull is real. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world, the biggest club in England. So I'm not shocked that he is taking his time to make a decision. and he might probably choose Manchester United. It's going to be interesting to see how the reports develop today, guys. As you know, I already told you guys about Anthony. It's going to be interesting to see how his season progresses. I'm one of those fans that are hoping he could find, he could find his quality and get himself back into it. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things, for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm also hearing some reports today. As we know, Danny Olmo's release clause supposed to have ended today or yesterday, but there are some reports still that Manchester United could be willing to pay the 51 million pounds to sign him, and are waiting for a green light from the player to agree to terms to join the club. You know what I mean? Why do you think this, Brendan? I'm just asking, why do you think this? I don't think so, because we don't have another option in the center of the midfield to replace Bruno. So if we get rid of Bruno, who's going to be the backup for the number 10? There's no one. Sure, there are one or two players who can play that, but there's no one who actually comes in and works at the number 10 like Bruno in a similar way or as good. We don't have any options. What are we going to say? Mason Mount? Mason Mount is not a creative player. I don't know why people keep saying he's a creative player. He does not create anything. He's played 19 games in the 14 games in the Premier League last season, and he's only created a cross. You know what I mean? I don't know what's the obsession with getting rid of Bruno, guys. The biggest problem is we never built the midfield around Bruno. You know what I mean? We expect Bruno to play with some. Simmonds will want to play, but I mean, that don't make sense though. Like Simmonds can't play. Simmonds cannot play 50 games a season, bro. Like we have basic 55 games to play this season. So if Simmonds start 20 games and come on as a substitute for Bruno in like 15 games, that's 35 games. That's a lot of game time, bro. You know what I mean? He needs to fight for a position. No spot is guaranteed. We can't just give him the number 10 position to play in the midfield just like that. He has to prove it, bro. He will want to be a starter. That's fair, but I mean, let's be real. If I go into the Premier League, that's a whole different league. I had to adapt and acclimatize. And as much as I will want to start, starting is relative, bro, because they could guarantee him starting role in the FA Cup, in the Carabao Cup, and a rotational role in the Premier League. They could also guarantee him a start in the Europa League. I mean, Bruno doesn't have to hit the bench for him to start, bro. You could bench Marcus Rashford and play him off the left. You know what I mean? So it's not either one or the other. And Bruno is not a terrible 10, bro. Like, let's be honest, bro. Bruno is one of the best 10s in the world. If you like Kevin De Bruyne or Brendan, Bruno is better by almost every metric in concern of his actual ability, bro. He have a wider passing range than Kevin De Bruyne. He scores more goals than Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean you'll reach the top because you're getting guaranteed game time, bro. And let me be real. If you hold on, sorry guys. All right, yeah, guys. To be honest, Brendan, right? I have like 5 more minutes before I have to go. So guys, get in your questions and anything you want to ask or want to find out about. You know what I mean? But yeah, Brendan, I understand what you're saying. I big up to you. Big up to you, Sal. What's good? What's good? No, they're looking for you, my brother. The German police are looking. They're looking for you with that ridiculous take, bro. No, no, bro. Like, understand what I'm saying. I don't mind Bruno being played as an 8. He certainly can play an 8, but in the 10 area, Bruno is lethal, my guy. And if you have intelligent wingers playing next to Bruno, i.e., a Jaden Sancho, a Amad Diallo, you're gonna see him link up well with them. You're gonna see him find them. Look at the link up he has with Kobe Mainu. When Kobe Mainu gets forward, Bruno finds him almost every time. You know what I mean? And because Bruno is 29, doesn't mean that he can carry on playing every game. Now, I definitely don't expect him to play every game as well. I expect him to start maybe 20 to 25 games in the Premier League and maybe five to 6 games in the Europa League. Probably 3 or 4 in the FA Cup. We could be alternating and still winning games. I don't think it's an issue. I think if we have the depth in the squad, it provides a good base for United to platform. And players need rest as well for their own benefit, guys. If you look at the way Sir Alex dealt with the squad that he had, lots of players were forced to sit on the bench in some games. You would play one game and then be on the bench for next. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. Bro, the only reason why you think there's too much waste with Bruno is because we have Marcus Rashford playing off the left. It's sad to say it, but it's the truth. Marcus Rashford does not know how to play with intelligent players next to him. You know what I mean? Now, if he does not read the game well, so you definitely need a winger who can read the game much better to play next to Bruno Fernandes. You know what I mean? Now, if we get another option, if you look at Sancho, if Sancho does leave and we have Ahmad and Xerxes starting left and right, and we have, Højlund up front and Bruno in the 10, there's going to be a lot better link up between Bruno and the wingers, guys. Big up for that, to be honest. There's no depth in the transfer market. What? What do you mean by that, Wizard? Explain. PSG are close to reaching an agreement on personal terms with Jadon Sancho, Footy Mercato. Yeah, no, I was just reporting on this a few minutes ago. So we're waiting for the news to develop, guys. I'm about to head off to work. I got to get there in like half an hour. So, guys, big up to all of you joining me. Thank you so much for being here. It's been your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan. Come back on later on. I'm going to be back around 1 p.m. UK to give you guys an update on the happenings of today and any concrete deals that are happening with United. Be sure to expect some breaking news today as well. As you know, United have said there are reports that United are prepping a bid for 17 million for Richard Rios from Colombia, the Palmeiras player. So look forward to that. There's going to be some options coming out. You could be hearing some news on Manuell Ugarte as well as Xavi Simons as well today. Guys, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. If you're new, hit those notification bells so you can see whenever we're live again. And you know what, guys? It's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan, bringing you the update, a little bit of Manchester United news and Manchester United views, a little bit of my views with yours as well in the comments. We can never big up to you, KD. What's good? What's good? It's not having a proper left back making open. He doesn't use the overlap, KD. He's never used it last season. If you look at last season, he's had overlaps from 3 different left backs and he hasn't used it, my brother. So I understand that, but the biggest problem is I always think that Marcus Rashford, it's not his ability because he's talented. It's not his pace because he's quick. It's not his ability on the ball because he's very good with the ball. The only problem is his decision making and his ability to read the game. Now, if you want to dispute that, let's check the stats. He's played with 4 of the best strikers in the world in the last 5 years. He's played with Cavani. His assist was less than 7 in both seasons. He's played with Ronaldo. He has got less than 3 assists. It's insane, guys. You can't play with a clinical goal scorer, not get assists as a winger. That's insane. I think the biggest issue is that everyone misprofiles Marcus Rashford, including himself. He's not a left winger. He's a striker. That's just my honest opinion. You know what I mean? Like, the guy doesn't want to pass the final ball. He wants to score he wants to be scoring it. You can see it in the way he plays. So, in my honest opinion, guys, you might disagree, but big up to you. Hope you guys have a great day. You know it's Monday. It's great weather outside, and I will be seeing you back at 1 p.m. with some updates, guys. It's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan, and you know what? Catch you guys later.